Alright. So, what it takes to grow comfortable with something. A baby born is crying. Moments, minutes, hours, days, I don't know. But typically, what is ideal is that baby would be immediately given to that mother. For the mother to feed and to hold on to and keep warm and love.
Dad.
What up?
Come with me to the bathroom.
Yeah, I can go with you to the bathroom. For someone to immediately love something and it actually be love, that's a God thing. I'm over here, man. In the system of things, when you are acquainted with something you are supposed to love, and you don't, you mock it, you make fun of it, you push away from it, you're indifferent to it, it's lukewarm to you, it's not hot or cold. God works in such absolution to make sure that even in the most gray days of your life, the most monotonous minutes that you may pass through, God is giving you the understanding that He is God. You can cry out from the depths of your soul, from your senses, from your experience, from your understanding, from your knowledge and wisdom or ideas of such things. And then you look at what God has done. He's crucified the Lord of glory, that all sin, the perfect one, would be made imperfect in death. And that shows us that perfection is found in life. If not in life, then where else? Death? Christ died, and yet God remained. His Father, who is not His Son, remained in keeping the story going that Christ would be dead for 3 days. Now, was it 24 hours times 3? Was it exactly that? Was it 72 hours? I don't know. But I don't question God in raising His boy. I don't get hung up on the details. I don't start crying about the things I don't understand when the big picture is the big picture. And the thing about Crüsh that I've tried to convey to people for years is this is the big picture. It's crucial. It's you. You are crucial. I can say that to anyone and them totally not understand me and it still be true. I have my limits. I'm still just a man. I realize in this world of seeking value, I'm not valuable to the man who needs something specific. When I go, hey man, I got the big picture. It doesn't set me above anyone. In fact, I think it's foundational to say that the whole thing is worth it. So let's get into the details and never get lost, because you can't get lost when the whole big picture makes sense. You can cry about one stroke of the brush. You can cry when that one note in the song plays. There's a gnat on me. You can cry about this one gnat. But in a world of trillions, billions, thousands, hundreds, tens of gnats, you see a swarm of tens of gnats. You're like, wow, that's a lot of gnats. And then you think, oh my God, God has placed every swim and swirl through the air that these guys would fly and have an experience of placement. Instinctively, how hard is it to swat a fly? In your head, you're thinking it's just a little fly. I could swat it. Oh my God, go sit outside and try to have something else in front of you that you're focusing on, and a fly is your secondary focus. Eventually, that fly will become your primary focus. Why? Because he knows how to not get hit. He knows how to keep flying. The odds of you hitting a fly, the amount of times you go for the takedown, unless you're a professional fly swatter, I think your take home is probably 2% of the time you might hit that fly. Honda is a good... Hey, Honda. Hey, you're a good fly catcher. He catches bees, hornets, flies, anything bite-sized, and is flying around him. He'll get it in the mouth. It's hilarious when he does it. Maybe you guys have seen it on video. He's like an alligator, or like a snapping turtle. It's awesome. When he catches them, he'll eat bees and just chews them up, swallows them. I'm like, okay, you got a tiger shark stomach. What up, buddy? Water came out of your butt crack? It might be called diarrhea. So, we all have this experience and acquaintance with death, obviously. We think that we're living. We think in Eon 3 that we are living. Just wait until Eon 4. Eon 5. 2 different levels of living. In Eon 5, no death. In Eon 1, it's considered that a man would die. Maybe I'm wrong. Look this up. This is Revelation stuff. It's considered like a travesty if a man dies at 100 years old. That would be that he was considered a youth at 100 years old. I think that's for the 1,000-year kingdom. I don't think anybody dies in the 5th Eon. God is not going to make people die in the 5th Eon. What? And we're going to be those who were acquainted with death and dying and mortality, and gnats buzzing on us, and it was a nuisance rather than a blessing that we could see right then in that moment. And here we are, graced, favored upon to be suffering for the namesake of Christ. Whether it's a gnat or a broken leg or a mortgage that goes upside down, or you're homeless or you're hungry, you're scarred up, you're mentally fucked. When I go to these conferences, I am mentally fucked. And then I remember that all these people... One sec, Forrest. You have to wipe. Wipe your butt, man. You'll do a good job. You trust that things are going the way they need to go. You have faith in your brother that he's not going to get all drunk and spew all over you. That he's not going to set himself apart by being a distraction. And that has been my fear at all of these conferences, that I would be somehow taking away from the favor of God. You know what? I've made an ass of myself a few times at conferences in my own experience, or I've had people... I'm not going to make this about me, but this is my own experience. This is all really I can speak from, other than Christ and Him crucified and Paul's evangel. Dude, I've not always been the greatest example of Paul. But when it comes to grace, it doesn't run out, and it's not a scapegoat to go act however I want and be whoever I want to be in that moment, and, you know, fuck you if you think otherwise. I've had that mentality, and sometimes that's necessary. I think when sticking to Paul's evangel, being able to somehow articulate, hey, fuck you, that's not the truth, but here's the truth, and entreat with love, the fuck you doesn't hurt so bad when you know the person on the other side loves you. And that's not something I say we should go throw around often, but when it comes to the doctrine, stick to the doctrine. That's it. Love people hardcore. Love people in a way that you would want to be loved. If that's a little bit at a time, if that's a lot at a time, it's not for everyone all the time. They can't handle it. There's bits and pieces that feel broken and, like, you know, cut out, and they feel like they need to be sewn in, but they weren't sewn in properly, or like it's up to them to achieve some type of love-deserving reality. No, dude, love deserves love, and if you are made out of love, the image of love, and other people count against that or say, no, you're not valuable, you're not worth it, you're not part of this, dude, we get cliquey in society. We have races of people, we have regionality. If you're born in Philly, you're a Philly guy. You know, we got people who have traveled all over the world and still call some place their home. What about their mother's teat, you know? What about home down to the core? What about sustenance and life from someone who really loves you. And that's not doesn't go well for people who have had shitty mothers. But there is a nurturing love to this eon, in the sense that God has it held together. It's not about what is my experience in this third eon, the one that crucified the Lord of Glory, that brings me peace. It's something outside the eons. The eons have, I don't even remember how the concordance says it, but like the eons have altered themselves to attain to you. Not even the times themselves saw the glory in Christ that was coming, in being the first of many brethren, if not the head of all. That he would give up that? The storyline changes so many times. Christ humbles himself to become obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. And that's the crucial moment that everything changes, that adversaries' plans make sense. Oh, I was trying to twist. I was trying to mimic. I was trying to go against and kill. I was making alive. There's a time and a place for deception to have its hold in a group. And God will always keep a remnant of people somehow magnificently set apart, holy eyes. They're set to the side to not go through what the example goes through, and yet they are the example on the side that, hey, I kept them from this obviously terrible moment, tribulation, but here they are. They've suffered something else. They weren't believed. The people that are now suffering in this era spoke against these people, my people, and hated them, cursed them, said, see you in hell. I'm going to watch from my pearly gates as you burn, or I'm going to watch God eliminate you from history altogether. It's just like, Terminator's a great movie, but at least Schwarzenegger was a robot. He had more heart than a Christian. Jesus Christ. If you're programmed to love, then you're going to love. If you're programmed to hate, you're going to hate. And there are intrinsic moments. There's little glimmers of hatred and love sparking in each of us all the time. That's the flesh and the spirit. But ultimately, we realize that Christ's death, his entombment, and his resurrection secures all. The adversary. It secures Satan himself. It secures God. God has faith that he's going to complete something. And God is so confident to say that I am one, and my son will be with me also as one. He doesn't say, if my son is with me, then I am one. No, he says, I am one, and my son will be with me. And that is love. That is crucial. That is a God and a Father, a placer, a subjector, fulfilling a plan to bring his son into glory that he already has for himself. Fathers are very special. Father figures, father types, they run the show. They run the freaking show. Go out into any wildlife area, you're going to find the male part is territorial. They have something that's theirs. Now imagine God having all be his. And yet, he still holds every feminine characteristic. He created it. He produced it of himself. That he would divide anything. God is one, remember? And if all is to come out of one, then we know that our result is to be in one. If we start out as one, we end as one. All the fractals, all the numbers in between, they're crucial. They mean something. They matter. They have a purpose and a value at a time and a place. And it's at the beginning, it's at the conclusion. It's beyond the end of these eras that we call the eons. We are going to keep living. Once we see that time and space has served its purpose, we will be nothing but filled with light and love and truth and power and pure honesty and pure consideration for ourselves and others, and never let anyone down ever again, not even ourselves. We're going to succeed beyond the idea of success. And then we're going to share that with every creature. Christ, Satan, your son, your daughter, your love, the love of your life, your bride or your husband or your family, your mom, your dad, your siblings, your brother, your sister, anybody, everybody. The fact that we're brothers in Christ shows us just how intimate it is. We're not just going to be cousins at the dais. We're going to be brothers. Our Father's the same Father, dude. Enjoy this. Appreciate this. Even now, you are blessed with every spiritual blessing among the celestials now in Christ Jesus at the right hand of God. And that is in glory to the Father. If you have these words, your body may be falling apart. Your eyes might get blurry. Your hearing might go off. You might think you're hearing things you're not. Maybe you did hear something and it's too good to be true. And here we are in life, knowing that God is at peace with humanity. He has set you apart for something that is just gratitude. That's it. Gratitude. When Adam and Eve were in the garden, they were anything but thankful. By anything, I mean nothing. Because if you have one negative moment or a billion negative moments in your life and you don't come out with gratitude, you're just bitter, well, then God will show you what it is to be at peace. If you've understood that peace is a thing, even through the trials and tribulation of bullshit and death and dying and not hitting the target, missing the mark, sin, what we have is peace on the outside. 100% conciliation from God toward all humanity. The believers are the only ones that recognize it now, and that's only because God has unblinded us, shown us that He is God through His image. The invisible God, the Father, is being shown through the Son. If you've seen me, you've seen the Father. Christ Himself said that as a man. Now, as a spiritual man, a vivifying spirit, an undying spirit, who is this who represents God and me? And me. And you. Especially, there is something so beautiful. It's not exclusively, it's especially. We will be able to share these memories and these heartaches and these triumphs and these lows and these highs and all the love and all the truth and reality with everybody eventually. There are those closest to us that we especially love, and then there are those on the outside who are yet to hear that, hey, it's okay. You're crucial. So, go forward knowing that God is at peace with you and there's nothing you can do about it. Stay Crüsh. Peace.